Italian Americans long ago became some of the most prominent, respected, and successful members of society in South Louisiana. But their ancestors, the Italian immigrants who settled in this area in the mid to late 1800s, faced a lot of hatred, cruelty, and discrimination. Writer Alan Gautreaux tells the story in his new book, An Extreme Prejudice. And Alan is here now to tell us about this book. Fascinating story. And it is, as I just mentioned to you, it's hard to understand, it's hard to comprehend, really, that Italians face discrimination because they are so successful, so prominent here now. But it wasn't that way then.
No, it wasn't. When the Italians first came to Louisiana, they were invited to come to replace the black laborers who had been liberated through the Emancipation Proclamation. There were two reasons for that. Number one was to replace the black laborers, and number two is the white population wanted to return to the antebellum days so they could enhance the white population. But Italians did not understand the Southern Moors, so they did not exhibit any discrimination against blacks. And then the whites of society started to mix them together with the blacks and consider them just.
Okay, we have some pictures from the book, and I want to go through some of these. This is the French Market, obviously.
This is the French Market. When the Italians first came to Louisiana, they settled in the French Quarter itself. Because the Italians were used to being fishermen and oystermen in the Mediterranean, when they came to Louisiana, this is how they used to sell their wares.
And next we have, I think, a French Quarter scene?
Yes, this is the French Quarter scene at Magnolia Street. This is where the Italians used to hang out in the French Quarter where they lived.
Next.
Now this is Police Chief David C. Hennessy.
We all hear this is critical, really.
Yes, it is critical. We all hear, who killed the chief? Actually,
he was assassinated
on October 16th, 1890, which the law enforcement officials felt at that time were Italians, part of the mafia in the city. David Hennessy was buried in Metairie Cemetery. You can actually see his tomb. And at his trial, 11 of the defendants were found not guilty. On the next day, there was an announcement for all good citizens to meet at the clay statue to exact revenge against the people that were acquitted.
And next picture we have, so Italians were then basically persecuted. They were blamed for his assassination.
They were blamed for everything back then, yes.
And then this is...
This is Harper's Weekly illustration of what actually happened at the prison. 11 of the defendants who were found not guilty at the trial were actually executed. And some of the most prominent Italians, like Joseph Maquecca and Charles Matranga. Maquecca was killed, Matranga was wounded. He later lived until 1941.
Next picture, and I believe this is the last one.
Yes, this is the depiction of the execution in our own wax museum at the Musée Contact.
So what happened? I mean, so Italian Americans faced a lot of discrimination for decades.
For decades.
And how did it turn around?
After the assassination of Hennessy and the lynching of the Italians in 1891, there were two more lynchings in Louisiana of Italians, which they did not know who did them. But in 1907, there was the kidnapping of a young boy named Walter Lamanna. And the white community and the Italian community came together right then and there to find out who committed the kidnapping. And it's still very painful for a lot of the Lamanna family to talk about today. And then in 1921, there was a murder in Tangipahoa Parish of a gentleman by the name of Dallas Combs, and the Italian community and the white communities came together. So they knew that they had finally reached the point of being called American citizens at that point.
A very difficult time, but now the Italian Americans are very successful, very prominent, mainstream New Orleanians.
Yeah, mainstream New Orleanians, yes.
And the name of the book is An Extreme Prejudice. It's a fascinating story.
Thank you.
Alan, thanks so much for coming in.
Can I tell you where you can get them, though?
Yes.
Okay. You can get it at Amazon.com.
Yes.
Historyforall.com. The Italian American Cultural Center, and we've just made a deal with Blue Cypress Books on Oak Street to carry the book. So.
Alan Gautreaux, good luck with the book. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.